First, did you want to respond to the fact that you're taking big dollars from, and I think I've seen some ads of that effect.
I wish he would spend $266 million he won in taking care of our programs like homeless issues, which is very important. But you know what? But I am raising every single dollar from people that believe in me, right?
You're making a lot of money from PACs. I'm taking only donations from individuals on average of $66.
PACs are not always bad money. They are the people that represent their particular industries to advocate on their issues.
And I will have you, you know what? I'm going to tell you, me and my wife, through our foundation, we have taken $40 million
kudos to you.
that we've invested in students to help them through their educational process. So to kind of call out and say that I'm not doing anything,
I did. Did I say that you're not doing anything? Oh my God, we have audience here to prove that whether or not I said.
I wish you would take some of those millions and spend it on this. My wife and I have chosen our philanthropy, and we know that where we can make the biggest difference is when it comes to education.
You know what? One of the areas that you are spending money is at USC, my alma mater, so I want to thank you for that.
And we're spending money at Cal State Fullerton, too,
you are spending your money
there.
and self-funding your campaign. You can afford to do that. I can't.
When I have the CLF,
so I'm raising money from every dollar I'm raising is from the people that believe in me.
When I have Paul Ryan's super PAC throwing $4 million against me on your behalf,
and so is the DCCC spending millions of dollars to attack me, and you are spending your money to attack me.
Well,
how do you respond to that?
So let me ask you.
You know, the key issues we didn't get into, unfortunately, is transportation. Look, do you realize how important transportation is to our region?
I do realize.
I hope this is taping, right?
Yes, this will be on YouTube. We're taping for YouTube.
Do you understand
you
how
can link to it.
Transportation is to our region?
I do, because you know what? This is a 39th district in Southern California is gateway to Pacific Rim.
So, Young, if you're in Congress, what can you do to improve the
seriously,
transportation?
I mean, the 5760 freeway, the confluence, is the most #1 transportation infrastructure needs of our district. And you know, thankfully, our current Congressman, Ed Royce, has helped to secure $10 million to start that 5760 confluence project. That's going to take 10 years.
That's planning, right? Because $10 million doesn't.
Exactly. It doesn't get it there. That's why it's going to take 10 years to complete that project. And so we need a representative who can fight for our money, for our district from the federal government.
So many people are going to go and support me because Ed Royce, going
no,
around talking
he
to
has
city
fought
managers,
this is an important
talking to
thing.
people in the district, they have continually said that Ed Royce has done nothing to bring dollars into the district.
I just told you, he brought $10 million to start the 5760 confluence project. That is going to create over 5,200 new jobs over the 10 years period.
Let's talk about something.
Transportation is important
here, so to say that he hasn't done anything, you're wrong on this.
The United States come through California. $500 billion of commerce comes through our ports and goes out into our roads.
I'm glad you understand that, and that is the key issue for our district. This is why
a federal infrastructure bill is so important. That's what I'm going to go to Washington and I'm going to work on. Our president is talking about a $1 trillion infrastructure bill. People are tired of talk. They want action. When I go to Washington, I'm going to work with the other side to make sure that we get a federal infrastructure bill passed. It's going to fix our roads, fix our highways, our bridges, efforts, fix our airports, put money into our ports, but most importantly, put money into our schools.
Okay, so you're both for infrastructure spending. You're both for getting more federal money for transportation in this district. Let me ask you maybe just more of a conceptual question, and this maybe is more state than federal, but is California and some of these cities in Orange County on the right track doing rail, doing light rail, trying to get people out of their cars? There's a lot of folks who say, come on, this is not addressing the issue. And how about the bullet train? Let me ask both of you. Do you like the bullet train?
I like the idea of public transportation. Los Angeles County, Orange County, they had a vibrant public transportation system during the 30s and 40s, and after we built the highway system, we thought it would replace that. That was a big mistake. You go to other major cities like New York, or you go to like Washington, D.C., they have metro lines, they have rail there that moves the people around. When I lived back east, when I went to school, and even when I travel there, I never get in a car. I always take public transportation.
Can you do that in Orange County?
I think we can. We need to invest in that, right? It's going to take a lot of dollars and a lot of investment, but public transportation is something that we need to invest in. It's a lot better than I think sitting an hour and a half on traffic trying to come home from work, which is I used to do many a times, you know, back when I was in the Navy and back when I worked at Frito-Lay from Rancho Cucamonga trying to get back here. We need to invest in that. And we need to invest in public transportation. And not only that, it's going to take better care of our planet. It's going to, you know, reduce carbon emissions, which is what we need. We need to take care of our planet.
And we didn't talk about environment, and we don't have enough
talk
time,
about-
unfortunately, to
Right.
talk
But
about
you know what?
environment.
Yeah.
But what about, what do you think? Should we do more
Of
public
course,
transportation?
Public transportation is important, but in the places like in East Coast, of course, you know, it is important. A place like in Asia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, high-speed rail, it works very well, but not here in West, you know, like in California, not in Southern California. That high-speed rail was funded 10 years ago, thinking that it's going to be built, but now we're spending 3 times more and it's never going to be built. It's a highway train going nowhere. It's going to be a train wreck without a conductor. Seriously, we need the Sacramento politicians have a bad habit of raiding into our high-speed transit funding to take care of our, you know, wasteful projects like high-speed rail, not in California. And so what we need to do is cut that, you know, stop that project right now, cut the bleeding, and use the remaining funds to talk about fixing roads, maintaining our roads, fix the infrastructure. I agree with that, but we can do it if we stop the high-speed rail and use the remaining funds to take care of our infrastructure needs.
Okay.
That's why I'm against gas tax
This is why a federal
too.
infrastructure bill is so important, right? Because our roads here in California are the roads to commerce to the United States.
I agree,
So we should
and
get
this-
investment in that, and that's
We
why
should
I'm going to
keep
go
doing
and
that,
work
but
with
we
the
can
close
do it
yeah.
without raising taxes.
let me-
We have the
We're not-
money to do
we're
it
not
if
gonna
we
raise-
stop
nobody
high-speed
mentioned-
rail
nobody mentioned raising
projects.
taxes
Let me close
That's
by
what,
asking-
no, I was in California
know you were in the
legislature. I
legislature,
understand. I
yeah.
served on the California Transportation Committee. I mean, the Assembly Transportation Committee. This is an issue that we talked about. So now, even Sacramento politicians are saying it's wrong. It's time that we stop high-speed rail project right now. I think we are headed.
Let me close with a very philosophical question, a soul-searching question for both of you, because you've been very spirited. There are things you strongly disagree on. But you know, I get the sense, Gil, you served in the military, you won the lottery, and you've given a lot of that money for causes that you believe in. I look, I say, this is a good guy.
Right.
Young, your background, you know, your immigrant background and everything you've done in your life, I say, you know, a good woman. Now, I think deep down you probably do respect each other on that level, I'm guessing. If you don't, feel free to say so. But you're in a campaign, millions of dollars pouring in. She's on the take. She's taking money. She's a crook. You know, you didn't say it in so many words, but she's a crook.
I did not say that.
And I didn't say this is
Right.
what they say about you, but this is what comes across: sexual predator. Okay. Do you ever feel like, oh man, this sucks. I don't like this.
You know, there's two people in the district. They want to talk to me about two things. The first one is always health care. People are worried about the health care. The second question I always get is, why are you doing this? You don't have to. You know, you've been very fortunate in your life. You could go on and you could do anything you wanted to do. Why are you doing this? And I tell them all the time, it's because my life has really been about service. You know, I served my country in the military. I serve it now by investing in these kids because I know an investment in them is an investment in the future of our country. And I want to continue that service in the United States Congress to bring sanity back to government and to get the government working for working class people again. You know, my family and friends, that's who my family and friends are.
So you're doing it, are you
people.
saying you don't really enjoy a lot of this stuff, but you're doing it because you
Look, I don't know about Miss Kim, but you know, she's been in politics. She's worked for Ed Royce for over 25 plus years. She ran for the assembly. She was running for the supervisor before he dropped out and switched. So she's a career politician.
All right, so I'm Gil Cisneros, and I approve of this ad,
Right.
is what you're saying.
I am not look, I never thought I would run for office. To me, this is about service. It's not about going to the next highest office.
All right. Young, do you ever feel
Same
uncomfortable
thing.
about some of this stuff?
No, it's same thing. For the very reason that you're running for office, I'm here to serve the public, okay? We are public servants because we are elected to serve the public, not the other way around, okay? And this is personal to me, like I said. I am living the American dream. I know, Gil, you were born and raised here, but I'm an immigrant. That's why I understand what this country is made up of. The diversity that our district enjoys, the district deserves a representative who understands what the diverse community is going through. I look like the district.
Well,
Come on, I talk like the district.
I look like the district too.
And I fit the
35%
district.
of the district.
I
is
think I
Latino.
look like
I
some of the
think-
district.
You do.
I truly believe
35%, there's more
the
Latinos in
experience
this.
matter, especially in a district that is now open with the retirement of a current member. The district deserves a representative with experience who can go to Washington, D.C. and start working on their behalf from day one.
They deserve representation, which they haven't got from the current incumbent in a long time.
Okay,
I
So
believe-
many people I have told, Ed Royce hasn't returned their calls. He hasn't answered their letters. He get turned away at the doors. He hasn't done a town hall in 7 years. And they know young Kim, who's worked for him for majority of that time, is just going to be nothing
I don't know
but
what
Ed
you're
Royce
talking about, Gil, but when
2.0.
I was working
Okay.
with Ed Royce, we had robust town hall meetings. We had
Well,
communities coming to our office. I
He hasn't done a town hall
personally
in 7
have
years.
assisted hundreds
He
and
hasn't done
thousands
a
of
town hall in
constituent
7
services.
years.
I've worked with businesses. I know every community from corner to corner. I have actually worked with them. I built a relationship in this community. I know this district.
Well, I know
so
this
I think I'm
district, too.
better known in the community than you are, Gil. When you just moved into the district, I lived in the district for
about
30
who's-
years.
it's about who's gonna
It's
serve the
about-
district better.
It's going
So
to
folks-
serve
who's
the
gonna serve
district
the
in a
district better?
bipartisan, independent way
And
as
that's
I
why I'm
have,
getting
and I
support.
have that experience,
You
and
weren't
you're just
bipartisan.
starting.
You weren't
So,
And
bipartisan
folks,
in
I
the
think
legislature.
on this
Why
note
would
of
you be
discord,
bipartisan
we
in
must end
Washington?
our conversation.
Thank
But
you.
thank you so much for your time and your
right.
participation.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.